you get a resale certificate for a property that isn't a homeowners association for condominiums or a property owners association for single-family homes, what do you look at? We get agents and buyers calling us to walk them through the resale certificate once it's been received. While everything in a resale certificate is important, and the buyer needs to review the entire resale certificate carefully, there are a few items I would point the buyer's attention to. First, are there any current violations of covenants and restrictions? While any violation should have been disclosed on the seller's disclosure notice, sellers may be unaware of the violation until the resale certificate is received. If there is a violation, the buyer will want that fixed before closing. Now, most repairs are negotiated during the option period, but we typically see that the option period has expired by the time the resale certificate is received by the buyer. And it is painful to open up negotiations on additional repairs after the option period has expired. While seller does not have to make the repairs, the buyer can still try to negotiate repairs, or they may otherwise terminate the contract after receipt of the resale certificate. The buyer can terminate 3 days after receipt for single-family homes and 7 days after receipt for condominiums. This is a good reason for ordering your resale certificate prior to having a binding contract, so both buyer and seller will know of any violations on the property prior to entering into the contract, or at least be able to negotiate repairs during the option period. In addition, the resale certificate sets out periodic dues assessments, special assessments, deposits for reserves, and fees associated with the transfer of the property. The resale certificate also discloses if there are any lawsuits pending against the homeowners association. Depending on the outcome of the suit, there may be additional dues levied against the homeowners in the association. The buyer and possibly their lender may not want to assume any risk with respect to potential outcome of those lawsuits. A few last items that are important are any capital expenditures approved by the association for the next 12 months or fiscal year, the amount of unsatisfied judgments against the association, and the amount of current reserves. Approved capital expenditures in excess of reserves or unsatisfied judgments in excess of reserves may mean future special assessments on the properties. These items are critical to buyers' decision to buy the property. And, as we always remind agents, when a buyer receives a resale certificate during the contract period, they can terminate the contract. However, if they receive the resale certificate prior to executing the contract, they don't have the right to terminate after receipt. Since these items are so critical to the buyer, it is well worth the seller paying for a resale certificate up front and providing it to the buyer prior to executing the contract to avoid any chances of termination. And it is well worth the buyer examining it carefully. If you have any ideas for our tip of the week, please send to tipoftheweek@allegiancetitle.com. Thank you.